Life can be extremely difficult. Sometimes we get pulled in so many different directions we don't remember which direction we're supposed to be going. It's really easy to get sidetracked by our circumstances to the point that we forget our potential. We quit striving and we simply start surviving. We begin to live and work on autopilot. And sometimes it's a matter of stepping back, taking a deep breath, and really looking at things differently. Bottom line is this: change your perspective and your life changes with it. 10 years into her training, Terry Poxon, one of my senior students, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. She trained with me for another decade, and over that time, as her body began to deteriorate, her spirit just became stronger. She was a warrior. She was amazing. I remember one particular time after a workout, she was in the corner, kind of having a hard time moving, and I walked up to her and I asked her, I said, "Terry, is there anything you can do to make it better?" And she looked at me and she said one of the most profound things that I've ever heard. She said, "Dave, I know I can make it better because I can make it worse." Think about that for a moment. I know I can make it better because I can make it worse. I want you to think about the honesty and the power of that statement and how you can apply it to virtually any aspect of your life, your health, your fitness, your finances, your relationships. Think about it for a moment. Is there anything you can do to make your health worse? The answer is, of course there is, right? Then guess what? If you can make it worse, then by default, you can make it better as well. You can't just have it one way. And once we understand the power of this, it'll open up a whole world of possibilities to us. Who knows when it happened, but somewhere along the way it became easy to give in to the status quo. All of a sudden we find ourselves, a few years go by and we're somewhere we weren't expecting to be. But guess what? It's never too late to realize your full potential and become the person you were born to be.
Dave Kovar is a business leader, social entrepreneur, teacher, and lifetime martial artist. As a leadership and peak performance trainer, he's traveled the world, sharing time-tested strategies for a more productive and fulfilling life through the principles of martial arts.
The martial arts tenets that we use as far as integrity, respect, and doing the right thing, those go hand in hand with all business. His motivation, his attitude is phenomenal.
He is an expert in mindset. He helped me to kind of open my mind to think about myself and my business differently.
I love the balance of personal and professional development, and so I always feel better about myself and my business after I've spent some time down here with Mr. Kovar and the team. He's the type of person that when you spend time with him, he makes you better.
Your people will walk away energized and ready to apply what they've learned for big results, not your typical keynote.
There's a great quote: concentrate on your balance, lose your upset. Concentrate on your upset, lose your balance. You see, when you become angry or upset, your balance actually gets worse. And once we become aware of this, we can use everyday minor irritations as a way to develop the ability to be calm under pressure. For example, next time you find yourself at the grocery store and you're stuck in line and the line next to you is going faster and you find yourself a little irritated, try this. Just pick one foot up off the ground just a little bit. One of two things is going to happen. First off, you're going to have terrible balance. Your foot's going to go back down again. Number two is you're going to find yourself breathing, calming down, and losing your upset. Actually, I put this to work a few months back. My wife and I had just gotten back from the grocery store, and I'm standing by the door waiting for her. She's got the keys, and I got the groceries, right? And all of a sudden, I look out, and I see that she's still in the car talking to one of her sisters on the phone, and I find myself going, wait a minute. This is my chance. Guess what? Now I'm practicing being calm under pressure.
The stories are memorable, and that's why Mr. Kovar has such immense value to the communities that he serves. The lessons that he has embraced and practiced for decades himself are applicable to everyone regardless of where they are at in their professional life or their personal life.
We all have a series of mindsets or beliefs about how the world works and how we work in it. Unfortunately, we don't pick our mindsets. They pick us. We usually get them from the experiences we have, the environment we are raised in, or the education we received. And some of our mindsets are powerful and serve us well, others not so much. For example, when my 93-year-old mother was in first grade, she was told to stand in the back of the choir and not sing too loud because her voice wasn't very good. And this was a mindset that she had her whole life, to the point that I don't ever remember her singing. Up until a couple of years ago, when dementia took away most of her memory and virtually all of her inhibitions. Now she sings all the time. But here's what's interesting. She actually has a pretty good voice. But she missed out on 86 years of singing because of something someone told her when she was 6 years old. Once again, some of our mindsets are powerful and serve us well, others not so much. What I hear most often from people who attend my events is that they leave with a renewed sense of appreciation for all the possibilities their life has in store for them. And also they leave with some simple tools they can put to work to help them get moving in the right direction. But don't be mistaken, there's extreme power in simplicity. If you have 3 minutes a day, we can change your life. And that change begins the very moment you begin to look at your challenges and put them in the form of a question that assumes there's an answer.
Mr. Kovar is so good at getting you to think about what you do really well and then your areas to improve, but not taking everything and trying to implement it at once. He tells you, take one goal, take one thing, work on that, get that, then go to the next one. Pretty much with any topic he's talking about, he has either a book reference or a personal story.
Mr. Kovar is a master storyteller, and he has an amazing way of taking lessons either from his life and own experience or even historical lessons and applying them to your personal growth or your business growth in a way that sticks.
A few years back, my wife and I decided to go into San Francisco for the day. And as we're driving over the Bay Bridge, there's lots of traffic, and it's taken quite a while to get up to the toll booth. When we finally get up there, I roll down my window, and I'm greeted by this attendant swaying to the sound of smooth jazz. And she gives me a big smile as she takes my money. She says, "It is a wonderful day to be going into the city. I hope you have a great time." And she meant it. As I drove off, my wife and I looked at each other. That was so cool. And by the way, I believe it was a great day, and I believe that statement really helped to kind of remind us of the importance of being in the moment, right? By contrast, on the way home, we're crossing over the Crockett Bridge, and now I'm keenly aware, I'm really kind of, I usually don't think about, the interaction with a toll booth operator, but this time I'm keenly aware of it. And this toll booth operator doesn't even look up at me. They kind of grunt as they take my money. And if I could read her mind, I'm imagining that she's thinking, my sister's an attorney, and here I am wasting my day collecting tolls. Now think about it. Both these people have the exact same job. But my friend by the Bay Bridge is going out of her way to bring meaning to what some people might not consider a really meaningful job. And not only is she having a better day, but think about how many thousands of people she's affecting in a positive way. It reminds me of a samurai maxim, and it goes like this: be like a weed and bloom where planted. What does that mean exactly? Have you ever seen a dandelion growing between two rocks? It's not complaining about not getting enough sun or wishing it had more soil. It's just growing proud. So the key thing is, what can we do? Wherever we're at, can we bloom where planted?
I love his stories, and I always remember them, and I'll share them to my team.
That's how I know I've really understood it and I've really implemented it into my life and I've made it a part of myself, is when I start teaching it to other people.
To book Dave Kovar, please visit davekovarlive.com or reach out to the person who forwarded you this video.